Good morning, guys. Today we are making Eggnog Nut Thumbprints. First, we start with 3/4 of a cup of butter that has been pre-softened. And now I'm going to add 1/2 cup of sugar. Let that whip up together. You can use a hand mixer for this as well. Now we're adding 1/8 teaspoon of nutmeg, 2 egg yolks, these are nice, rich duck egg yolks. You can use chicken eggs. Save the egg whites for later, you'll need them. So do not toss the egg whites. Now we have some real vanilla here that we're adding. Just a teaspoon. This is the first time I've done this recipe, or I would add a little more. Now this did not mix in my professional mixer that well, so I had to take it off and mix it by hand with just a spatula. No big deal. Now it's only 1.5 cups of flour. This recipe does not make a lot of cookies, but they're so kind of decadent that you really don't want a lot of them. Now I'm adding on just a regular paddle mixer to mix the flour in with the rest of the mixture. You want it separating from the side of the bowl, and then it should be done. Now just roll it up in a nice little ball and put it in the fridge for an hour. Check on it though, you don't want it to get too hard, otherwise it's hard to scoop it up later. So now this is the time that I turned on my oven for this recipe, because that's when they recommended to do it. So the oven goes on at 375. My mother-in-law just came home and she's excited that I'm baking something. Now I will leave this recipe below, like I always do for you guys. And this is out of the Better Homes and Garden Christmas Cookbook, and I will leave a link an Amazon link for that below. It's only a $12 book, and it comes with 100 Christmas and holiday cookie recipes. Now this was the most tedious part of the whole recipe. Otherwise, it was not that hard at all. This recipe, it looks intimidating, but it's not. It really isn't. Super simple. Now these are black walnuts, if you're wondering. That's what we chose to use. It doesn't really give a preference on nuts, so you could probably try different kinds of nuts with this. Now this is softened butter, and I'm putting in here, this is for the filling now, or the whipped cream topping kind of. We added the butter, we blended that up for a bit, and that is a cup of powdered sugar. And now for 1/4 teaspoon, oops, maybe half a teaspoon of rum extract. And that actually didn't ruin it, thank God. It tasted actually amazing. Now we're just adding a little dollop of milk here. It's already done. You got to be careful how much milk you put in there. Just like maybe a tablespoon is all it needs. And if it's too dry, then add a tiny bit more. Now you could probably add eggnog to this. I'm not sure, but I believe in the recipe it just says milk. Now again, I'm doing this while my oven's heating up. And it's been ready for a little bit now. My oven, when it tells me it's ready, it's not ready, so I have to wait a little while. It's only a year old. You'd think it would be better than that, but nope. Now this is a tablespoon cookie scoop. You take that, and this is how you get consistency in the size of your cookies, guys. This is where the egg wash comes in, your egg whites. You put that in there, and then you drench it in the egg wash, and then into the nuts and onto the cookie sheet. Now I did find, I put this cookie batter in the refrigerator thinking I needed to keep it cold after I did this batch. It only did like a batch, a little more than a batch and a half, this recipe. The cookie dough got really hard, so I would not do that in between. It was perfect at 1 hour, but I wouldn't go beyond that. Oops, I forgot to roll that one. Well, first time I done this recipe, and you know what, guys, it turned out great. So that tells you something, that if you follow the recipe just so, you'll get a good product. That's kind of a golden thumb rule with me. I follow the recipe the first time 100%. And then you kind of learn, like, what did I like in the recipe, what I didn't like. So then you can tweak things. I always scrape it on the side. I know that's a little bit of annoying, that noise, but it makes a good product. Gives me exactly a tablespoon that way. Now this is where they get their name. Thumbprint cookies. Eggnog Nut Thumbprint cookies. Now, if you wanted to do a twist on this, or you wanted to make some for the kiddos, because they may not like that rum taste, you would just do some without the nutmeg in it and put a little jam on top. And then you have jam thumbprint cookies. Sorry about my jingly dogs. Now I'm filling up my little bag here. This is just a cheap bag you can buy anywhere. This one came from Walmart. And it does have the little end on it that has the cuts out of it, so it gives like a star, you know, some kind of shape on it. It just looks prettier than just plain dip. So. There you go, just a little dollop of eggnog frosting on top. Sorry about my dogs in the background, guys. If they're not by me, they're puppies. I don't know what they're getting into. You can see how the little tip makes it really cute. Oh my goodness, guys, I'm sorry I didn't do this on film and get my face. These are amazing. God bless, and we'll see you next time here on Hedgehog's Homestead.